Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Telly Bear's Techy Tidbits, your cozy corner for STEM news, hosted by your friendly AI co-hosts. So, have you ever found yourself wondering if artificial intelligence can daydream? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to explore. The creative and, yeah, sometimes a little bit confusing imagination of AI. And I promise we're going to do it in a way that feels really grounded and not the least bit doomy. All right, let's dive right in. There's this brilliant AI researcher, Karpathy, who has a really beautiful way of putting it. He says that these big AI models we hear about, large language models or LLMs, are basically dream machines. Their whole purpose is to be creative and make new things, kind of like how our own minds work when we dream. That idea of a dream machine, it's pretty lovely, isn't it? But, just like our own dreams, sometimes an AI's daydreams can get a little mixed up with what's actually real. So let's gently take a look at what that's all about. So you might hear this term floating around in the tech world, AI hallucination. And look, it's totally okay if that's a new one for you. Reporting from K2View helps break it down really simply. It's basically when an AI gives an answer that sounds super confident, but it's actually wrong, or even just completely made up. It's not trying to be sneaky or anything. It's just doing its best to fill in the gaps with what it thinks is the most likely pattern. To really get a feel for this, I want to share a simple little story from a workbook by Professor Tom Yee. It makes the whole idea click without being complicated at all. Okay, so picture this. You're in a baby store and you ask a little AI helper a really simple question. You just say, "How much are 2 bags?" Now, here's the thing. This AI has learned from, pretty much the entire internet, but it has no idea what's actually for sale in this specific store. So it does what it does best. It daydreams an answer. And based on all its training, the word bags often shows up next to apples. So it makes a guess that sounds reasonable, but is completely wrong for where you are. So this leads to the big question, right? How can we help these really powerful dream machines stay connected to the real world so they can actually be helpful? Now, if this feels like a lot to think about, you're not alone. And the good news is the solution is actually really gentle and pretty clever. And luckily, some very thoughtful people have been working on this, and they've come up with a really kind and constructive solution. You can think of it like giving our AI dreamer a friendly little fact checker. The official term for this is grounding. K2View explains that it's just a way of connecting or anchoring an AI to a trusted source of real information. It's kind of like telling the AI, hey, before you answer, just quickly check the facts in this reliable encyclopedia over here. Okay, so this fact-checking process, it has a super techy name, but please don't let it scare you. It's called Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Yeah, I know, it's a total mouthful. That's why pretty much everyone just calls it RAG. And this helpful little tool, RAG, is the real hero of our story. So how does this fact-checker thing actually work? Let's go right back to our story in the baby store and see it in action. Here's how this gentle fact-checker does its job. When the AI gets your question, instead of just guessing, the RAG system kindly steps in and says, hold on a sec. First, it goes and checks a trusted source. In our story, that's the store's own database. It finds the real fact. Bags of diapers are $10 each. And only then, with that real fact in hand, does it build a helpful answer for you. And you can see the difference is, it's night and day, isn't it? Without the fact-checker, we get a random dream about apples. But with its helpful little fact-checker friend, it gives the correct, grounded, and actually useful answer: 2 bags of diapers cost $20. So it's pretty clear why that second answer is so much better. It's not just a guess anymore. It's an answer that's rooted in real information from a source we can actually trust. It's accurate because it was guided by facts, not just a flight of fancy. Okay, this is a neat story, but what does this actually mean for you, in your day-to-day life with the tech you use? What it means is that as this grounding tech gets more and more common, all those AI assistants we use on our phones, at work, even when we're shopping, are just going to get more reliable, more accurate, and a whole lot more helpful. It's all about building a little more trust. So, as we bring our cozy little story to a close, what's the one big, gentle idea to hold on to from all this? If you remember just one thing from our time together today, let it be this: that even though this technology can feel huge and complex sometimes, at its heart, it's just a tool. And behind the scenes, there are so many thoughtful people working every single day to make that tool safer, more reliable, and more helpful for all of us. And hey, it's absolutely okay if not every little detail sticks right away. The most important thing is just to stay curious and open. This has been Telly Bear's Techy Tidbits, lovingly powered by AI. Thanks for keeping up with tech in such a thoughtful, grounded way. Have a magical, gentle day.